This is a crazy world we live in, and this topic is kind of sensitive to me because I can say I partake in it, but not to that degree. But then again, wrong is wrong. Don't deliberately raise your kids on your fucked up values and morals. Don't do that, because you're gonna potentially raise a person that could grow up to be worse than you. This video comes from a place where I've seen parents raising young children encourage them to fight. I'm gonna use my personal experiences. So my daughter, my youngest child, biological child, was getting bullied in school, and so the mother was feeling some kind of way about it, and I don't know how it came about the conversation, but she said that I found that she told our daughter that, oh, sometimes you gotta dig deep down and find anger to use it to basically cause bodily harm to somebody. And I'm always against that, because in unplanned circumstances, that situation can go terribly wrong, and your child could spend the rest of their life in jail, or a good part of their life in jail. But there's always the good route, and then there's always the bad route. Like when parents encourage their kid to be bullies indirectly and give them that good example. That's crazy, because there's a lot of people who don't tolerate bullies and they really hate bullies. You have parents that hate bullies, that put their hands on your children because they're bullies, if they are bullying their children. They won't wait for the police to get involved. They won't wait for the principal to get involved. They're going to slap the shit out your child and wait for you to show up. And then possibly it's going to be gunplay. Or a parent is going to end up getting hurt due to what you have encouraged your child to do or allowed your child to do. People aren't thinking that far ahead in this situation. There was I don't have the story. I usually do these videos on the fly. There was a young man in high school somewhere. He was getting bullied by, a bully. And so time after time, he would go to the principal office. He would tell his mom, his parents would, hey, this is what's happening. They would go to the school. They talked to the principal. It was documented, but nothing was being done about it. And on this day in question, the young man was going, it was a pep rally. The young man was going into the gym. And ironically, well, I won't say ironically, it was weird that he was the first person into the gym. To me, he walking into the gym, and the bully was right behind him. He was pushing him and poking him and prodding him and like teasing him and stuff. And the guy that was being bullied was relatively heavyset guy. The typical person, well, not necessarily, but, stereotypically the one person that would get bullied. He looked kind of corny, heavyset dude. Looked like he didn't play sports, probably was in the band, that type of stuff. And so he was teasing the young man. Out of the blue, dude turned around, give him a 3-piece. Bop, bop, bop. Laid him out. He fell backwards onto the gym floor. He was knocked unconscious. They had to call the police. They had to call the ambulance to come pick him up. He went to the hospital. He was in a coma for some time, a short period of time, like maybe a week or so, and then he died. Unfortunately, he died. So the parents of the bully wanted to sue and was seeking, I guess, for the law to get involved and have him put in jail, the kid that was being bullied. And then, but his parents got a lawyer and was like, yo, right here, we documented this. We already was talking to the principal about it. Apparently, he didn't get in touch with their parents. I'm assuming that it went on for at least 6 months. I don't remember the story like that, but I do remember the story. I don't remember the story in detail. You mean to tell me that his parents didn't know about this? And if they did know, what was it about? I've heard people say, man, so-and-so, he a punk anyway. He a punk anyway. Man, my son, this, that, and the third. I would never advocate or any of that. I told my son, told my stepson, I said, bro, please don't get in no fight in school. Don't get in no fight in school because you don't want to jeopardize the foolishness that you got going on. I mean, not foolishness. You don't want to jeopardize your school. You don't want to get kicked out of school. You can be kicked out of school permanently for a fight if, depending on how bad it is. And I was so pissed off. I was so pissed off about that. I was like, they could have done something about it, but they didn't. How could you not know your son was in trouble? I mean, how did you not know your son was bullying this young man? What did the school do? Like, did y'all call the parents and say, hey, your son's been bullying? I remember I had another situation with my kids. Oh, well, back to what the other one. I was like, when my daughter's mother said that, I said, baby, if you ever put your hands on somebody in such a manner and you do something to hurt them and you mess around and kill them unintentionally, you're going to have to deal with consequences on that. So you might want to learn how to get your temper together. You might want to be comfortable with telling the teacher that somebody's bothering you. I'm going to do a part 2 on this video too. You might want to be comfortable with that because that's the best route to go. I don't care what nobody say. I had another child that was in a situation that she could have avoided, but nonetheless, she was spit on by another student. And so she was spit on and punched in the face, if I'm not mistaken. So she came home. She didn't tell me first. She told her mother. And when she told her mama was like, I think I walked in on the conversation. And so anyway, I was like, so what's going on? What happened? Oh, yeah? What time is it? It's like 2:40. Let's go. Get in the car. We went right up to the school. Hey, the principal still here? Yeah, we need to talk. Went to talk to the principal. I told him what happened. She gave the name and everything like that. I said, baby, don't ever feel bad about that. If you would have got it from that table and got to squabbing with this girl, I wouldn't have been mad. If you would have got jumped, I would have been mad because that's some hoe shit. I wouldn't have been mad at you for defending yourself because people don't understand. You get into an altercation with somebody these days, ain't no telling what kind of surprise is gonna pop out. You can get hit with a blade, a knife, goddamn ice pick. You could lose an eye. It can go any kind of way. With the example that I gave you earlier about the young man that was bullying the dude. Oh, in that situation, I forgot to mention, it was all on camera. So they had it on camera. It was all on camera. In the gym, he just got tired of it. And he turns around, punched dude, gave him the 3-piece. He fell back, boom, hit his head. Now he gone. He not here no more. If those parents would have been involved, if that school would have been involved, if the proper authorities would have been involved, he probably would still be here. Matter of fact, I guarantee he would still be here because he supposed to got suspended from school or expelled, something. You ain't finna do that to none of my children, even at the age they are now, without me saying something about it or getting involved. It doesn't make sense. So I'm saying his parents had to have known this. Had to have known this. When you're not, I will always give my children the best advice in a situation that's going to keep them out of jail and above ground. Okay, because people still bully to this day. I'm dealing with that now, and I refuse to get into a physical altercation with anybody, because like I said, hey, you got to protect yourself, and I'm protect mine all the way to the end, the best way I know how. And I'm not trying to end up in jail. I'm not trying to end up nowhere where I don't want to be. I done been to jail a few times. It's not fun. It's not fun. I don't see how cats get comfortable in those situations. But when you teaching your children to not get out here and fuck with people and be bullies and stuff like that, when you teaching your children to do the opposite of that, man, the world is that much, even your community, I'm going to say not the world, but your community is that much better. It goes beyond that. It goes beyond that. And I'm going to do a part 2 on this, because I know some folks like, dude, I'm like, well, I say, what would you say to your son if you found out that they was engaging in sexual activity, or if they were watching porn, or, doing what people do when they watch porn? Oh, man, I'm gonna say this, I'm gonna say that. You're not gonna say anything to deter them from doing anything that they're doing. I said, he's like, well, why would I? I'm like, okay, well, they don't understand, apparently, what comes with that. See, I'm a lot older. I'm gonna say I'm about good 10, 15, 20 years older than some of the people that I work with, that I converse with on a regular basis. And most of them have kids. For you to say that it's not a problem for your child to watch porn, it's not a problem for your child to be, fondling themselves, that's weird to me. That's weird to me. For you to not address those issues. People don't understand. That's how some of these rapists and these serial killers got started. Yeah, like I wouldn't allow a youngin' that belonged to me to delve into that type of activity without being, like, you wouldn't have a girlfriend. You wouldn't have a boyfriend if I got something to say about it. I encourage you to have friends of the opposite sex, so you will have a better understanding of the opposite sex, so you can maneuver around and know some things, But no, I wouldn't encourage you to get out here and have sex. I wouldn't encourage you to have a boyfriend. I was against it. I was totally against it, because one more story real quick. So it was a young lady. I met this chick. Her daughter was 15. Her daughter was 15, and she had a baby. So I was like, wow, that's crazy. I said, I talked to my girls at an early age about what to expect. I talked to them about, a wide range of things around concerning sexual activity, the good and the bad, what relationships can be like, how your emotions may take you by surprise, how you can, how your obsession with somebody can be worse than a drug addiction. And 2 of my girls actually experienced that, and they still can't, well, one of them still can't get it through her head. It's hard for her to get it through her head that her emotions are leading her to do the things that she do, knowing that this dude ain't no good for her. Yeah, he trash. He straight up trash, and he treat her dirty every time. But I talked to them about that, and so the young lady was like, oh, that's crazy. You talk to your girls about sex? You talk to your girls about this and that? Oh, man, that's weird. I said, weird? I said, well, you're the one with the 15-year-old with a baby. And you still let the little dude, the baby daddy, come to the house when you're not home. So now you setting her up to have another baby. And people like, oh, I put my baby on birth control. That shit is not good for the human body. It is not. But see, you understand that you don't have no control over your child. So you would say, I'm going to go ahead. I don't want her to get pregnant again. So I'm gonna go ahead and put her on birth control. If you think that's what you need to do, but it's not good for her body. You have a young man in the house. It is easier for you to teach your young lady how to protect herself against pregnancy and STDs than it is a young man, I believe, because I was a young man at one time. And you gonna tell this dude to strap up. First time he dipping that joint raw, it's gonna be different. It's gonna be different. He gonna be feeling some kind of way after he put his, especially if he already chasing young girls and he already, you know what I'm saying, looking at pornography behind your back and everything. You don't want your children exposed to this, and especially with the cell phones now. We give your child a cell phone. Please don't allow your child to have a smartphone at the age of at early ages. Like, I would think 18 would be, especially what's going on now. If you monitor what your kids do, because they're gonna watch porn. It's highly likely that they're gonna watch porn. I know this because I have children that are they're the youngest one is 21 years old, and the oldest one is 27. So I've heard all the stories. I've heard all the stories, man. And it's like, it's when you look back on that fueled their lust, their drive to have sex. You can't take it for a joke. When you find out you pop in on your son here and there, you know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? Here and there, shifting them gears, you dig what I'm saying? Shifting gears. Hey, bro, get yourself together. Let's talk. How you feeling when you do that? How you feel about girls? Man, you don't know what these kids go through. There was a dude, I can't think of his name right now. He was a serial killer. This man said it all started when he found his dad's magazines, his dad's pornography stash. Come on, man. We gotta be, he found his stash. We gotta be his stash of adult videos. We gotta be more attentive to that, because we don't know what type of monsters they could turn into. We can't afford to teach them fucked up values. We can't afford to not be on top of what they do and monitor them. It is our job as parents to be parents until we, and like put into them every good thing that we can. They're not going to be perfect, but put into them every good thing that we can so they can grow and be an asset to the community. So, yeah, don't push your fucked up values and morals on your children. You can lead them down the wrong way. I know I'm all over the place when I talk, but it's okay. If you like the content, you like the content. If you don't, hey. I would say, man, be on top of your kids, man. Pay attention to what they do. Lead them in the right direction. We owe it to them because they didn't ask to be here. You feel me? Peace.